Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Hannah. I am a mother to one 14, almost 15-month-old toddler boy named Cade, and on my channel I make lifestyle and motherhood content and of course vlogs. So hit the subscribe button and we would love to have you join our little journey of life. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, for an entire month I tried toy rotations. First of all, the reason why I wanted to try out toy rotations is because I have seen it all over Instagram from like people who work with child development and then just mommy Instagram people. I just wanted to see if we could see any of the benefits that they talk about, or if it was just a big, huge, hyped up, trendy thing. I'm not necessarily new to the idea of toy rotations because I've seen it all over Instagram, but in the sense of I've never done it, I'm new to toy rotating, and yeah, you can just see throughout the weeks of how I kind of learned different things and stuff like that. So anyway, without further ado, here is week one. Day one of doing the toy rotation. I'm about to start like picking out the 10 toys that I want to do, but before I like get all the way started with that, I want to show you the mess in the living room that I'm hoping doing this will help to control. This shelf is Bubba's toy shelf, and as you can see, it spills out all the way into the main living area, and it's just like we step on toys all the time, and there's so many. Honestly, I've found that he really only plays with about 5 or 6 toys at a time. Like all of these are spread out, but he really only reaches for like 5 or 6. I'm going to choose 10 toys because we have 8 slots and 2 of them can hold 3 toys and then the other 2 can hold 1. So I'm going to choose 10. Here are my 10 toys. We've got the train, the little shape sorter truck, this little box. It's supposed to be like where you pull out fabrics and stuff, but I haven't put the fabrics in there yet. He's been playing with it for the past couple days. So there's 3, and then 4 the buckets, 5 drum, 6 telephone, 7 guitar, 8 is 2 dinosaurs because I've seen him play with both. 9 is the Mega Bloks bus, and 10 is going to be a little stack of books, like 5 books, the 5 that he's been reading. So now I'm just going to go put them in the shelf. This is what I've come up with. Those were bigger than I was expecting, so I wasn't able to get 3 things in there, but that's okay. I just put 2. I put the books in with it, with that truck. And yeah, it's a lot of electronic toys, I am realizing, which isn't like the worst thing, but yeah. So there we go. Here is week 1. For the first clip of week 1, I had just jumped off of the couch after scrolling through Instagram and seeing a toy rotation post and looking down at my floor and just being like, I've had it. I need to try it. I need to see if any of this works. My floor is a mess. Having 10 toys out, because the post I had seen said to have 10 toys or less out at a time. So I was like, okay, 10 toys, that's all I'm gonna see. great, let's do it. So that's where I started. And honestly, I was a little nervous about only having 10 toys out because Cade was so used to having toys all over the place. Our shelf could get organized whenever I cleaned up the floor and stuff and put everything away. But there were so many toys that it took forever to clean up. And it just was kind of messy. We had 2 little baskets that had a whole bunch of toys in them, and I was doing my best with what I thought I was doing as a toy rotation, but definitely wasn't. So anyway, I put all of the toys away except for the 10, and I looked at the shelf and I was like, wow, this feels so much better. So I was happy with where we started. Throughout the week, I didn't really know what I was supposed to be looking for and watching for, but I did notice that Cade seemed happier to play with some of the toys, and the fact that I had only age-appropriate toys out for him to play with seemed to be a lot better, and obviously, and I don't know, I just felt better about it, and Cade seemed to like those toys. It was just nice to have just age-appropriate toys out for Cade. But perhaps my favorite thing that I was figuring out with my first week of doing the toy rotation is that the shelves looked way less cluttery, and at the end of the day it was so much easier to clean everything up and pick all the toys up and put them on the shelf. Today is the 3rd day of trying out a toy rotation, and so we decided that we were going to put all of the other toys in our ottoman, and we were thinking he won't open it, and I knew that he could open it. Like, I knew he knew how to. And I was just really hoping that he wouldn't open the ottoman, and now he has, and he's trying to pull out all of the toys. Oh. Do you love Bunny? Should I have left Bunny out? These are meant to stay in here. Yeah. Do you like the eggs? Oh, thank you so much. I guess I gotta put the eggs in next week. Can you put this one back? Oh, close. I'll wait until he goes down for a nap to put these back, and then I'll probably sit on the ottoman for now, and until we figure out somewhere else to put his toys. That's just where they're gonna have to be, and I'll just have to clean up every time he goes down for a nap, I guess. Other than that, the toy rotation has been working out pretty good. I think he's a little more concentrated on the toys that he has. It doesn't take him very long to like spread them out across the entire floor, but at least the like cleanup isn't a lot because it's not every single toy he owns. So in the middle of the week, Cade ended up finding where we had put the toys. In our little downstairs suite apartment thing, we don't have room for storage for extra toys and stuff, so we just had to throw all of our toys into our ottoman, which is in front of our couch, and Cade opened it up. He found where the toys were, and in the moment I was having total mommy brain, and I just didn't think, just turn the ottoman around. I don't know, but it was really funny, and as soon as Rob said that, I was like, oh yeah, I guess we could do that. And obviously it worked. Cade didn't try to open up the ottoman anymore. He couldn't because it was turned around. Today is Tuesday of the next week, and I should have definitely done this Friday, so we're a week and a couple days past. But that's okay. I was really trying to watch what Cade was playing with. It was a little bit harder than what I expected, just because I don't know, I don't know what to watch for exactly. I really only noticed 2 things that he hasn't been playing with, and that was this train and this little like box thing with that you pull out the material that I don't have material for yet. I'm gonna trade those out for this carton of eggs and the stackable toys. Both are missing a piece. But that's okay. I'm sure more are going to become missing. That's what I'm going to switch out this week. Everything else is pretty much the same except for the books. I've noticed Cade really likes a handful of books, and I noticed that I don't like a certain book, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't like it. I don't like reading it to him. It's going. These 3 books Bub loves, just like on repeat. I'm reading these to him, so they're gonna stay. And we got a couple of Valentine's Day books that I'm gonna keep out just because it is still February. So we have How Do Dinosaurs Say I Love You and Little Blue Truck's Valentine. Those are definitely staying because he loves reading them and I don't mind reading them over and over and over. Other than that, everything else is staying the same. And yeah, I'm just gonna load up the shelf. Ooh, haven't seen that toy in a while. Huh. Yellow, yellow, yeah, yellow, yellow, green, green. During week 2, Cade became absolutely fascinated with books. He just wanted me to read the books over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, he just like sat on my lap for most of the day and wanted me to read the books, which was crazy to me because up until then he just played so independently and rarely bothered me. It was nice, but then it was also kind of like, oh, we only have so many books out. So they got a little bit boring after a while, for me, not for him. During the second week, I also feel like I became a little bit better at looking and watching for what Cade was playing with. And I did notice that there was 2 different toys that he played with a lot. And one of them was the stacking bucket things and the little carton of eggs that you like open and there's a shape and you connect them back. He hasn't figured out how to open them and close them, but he does like whenever I open them and then I hand it to him and he like walks around and just has them open and clicks them together and stuff. And it was also kind of fun watching our cats swat at them and play with them as well. I'm talking quietly because Cade is still asleep. I meant to do this yesterday, last night actually, but I didn't do it. So I want to try to get this done before he wakes up. Here are all of the toys. Pretty sure a lot of the eggs are missing. It's fine, we'll find them at some point. And I'm just gonna switch out toys right now. There's a couple things that I know that we can get out of here, out of this toy rotation. The drum, the telephone, it was still in the shelf, so I know he's not playing with it. Probably gonna put this bear away. So that's for sure of the toys that I know I'm going to switch out. I'm gonna keep out the toy truck shape sorter and the buckets, the eggs, and of course books. The things that I'm on the fence about are the Mega Block bus, this stack of rings, and the guitar. He pulls them out, but I don't think it's really holding his attention too well. The last category I have is books, and Bub has found books, more books somewhere. I'm guessing maybe under the couch or something, but I think I started off with 5. And we now have like a whole stack. I don't know how that happened, but I do know that I'm not gonna throw this book away, but I'm definitely going to put it somewhere else because 1, I'm really tired of reading it, and 2, he has pretty much destroyed like a couple pages. Not really destroyed it, but pulled it out. And so I want to fix that before he plays with it again. Gonna keep Dinosaur Dance and How Do Dinosaurs Say I Love You, Peekahoo, and I'm on the fence about this one because it's a good one. He sits through it all, but I'm really tired of reading it. So I'm on the fence about it. And then this one is not very good for little kids. It's like super dense. So Cade won't sit through that. So I'm gonna put that one away for a later date. Oh, and then this book, I'm gonna keep out. It's Rejoice in the Lord. It just has like 4 or 5 pages of different scriptures, and he listens to it, so we'll keep that one out as well. The ones that I'm sure about, there are 5. There's one on the couch that I know of, and then possibly 6. The shelf is really empty, but Cade is now awake, and so I'm going to just let him play with that. During his nap time, I will get out more toys for him to play with, but for right now it'll be okay. I think also this time for this week's rotation, I'm gonna keep a few more books out. He seems to be like super into books, so I'm gonna keep a few more books out. That way he's not bringing me the same exact ones. I don't think I'm gonna pull out very many toys, if that makes sense. Cade is awake and playing. I actually kind of think that the minimal toys, like a lot less toys and just more books, is maybe a little better, at least for right now, how I feel. We just spent like, I don't know, 30 minutes reading these books, and he's just now getting to the tubs. Yeah? Is it a hat? You have a hat? Oh, okay. Is it a hat? Do you like my hat? But anyway, I think I might still put a couple more toys out. I just obviously haven't been able to go through them yet to figure out which ones I want. But I do kind of think I might add a couple more books. And maybe 2 more toys. Alright. Here are all of Bub's toys, and I really don't know what I'm gonna pull out, except for I know I want to pull out the piano because it's been in here for a month, and I think that he'll really be happy that this is back out. Other than that, I really don't know. I'm gonna have to pull everything out most likely to figure out what I want to pull out. These are the toys that I'm trading out for these ones. So I'm getting rid of 5, or putting away 5, and bringing out only 3. Like I said earlier, I think I want to have out more books this time, possibly, rather than toys, and I'll see how that goes. Just because books seem to entertain him a little bit longer than what the actual toys have been. Week, I don't know, 3 or 4, I'm not really sure. This is the setup of the shelf. So we've got the buckets, 2 books, and a dinosaur, the carton of eggs, one of the new toys, which is just a pull toy with like the jumping balls, piano, a little game controller, and then some more books with another dinosaur, and yeah, and then on top we have been leaving this just so when Rob's sitting at his desk and Cade reaches over, like Rob can kind of entice him to play with this instead of with like whatever is like on the edge of the shelf. So and I think there's actually some toys back there. Yep. Week 3 happened, and it was all about more books. Somehow Cade had found more books, brought them out of his room or something, I don't know, but all of a sudden we had a big pile of books, which was nice because I was reading different stories and he was listening to the different stories, and I wasn't getting bored of the same exact books. Week 3 was definitely the week of collecting books and reading stories. Along with having more books, I was starting to be okay with having less toys, but only starting. I was still a little nervous to take away too many toys at once. I still wanted a variety of toys for him to play with. And it also, again, made cleanup so much easier when there wasn't as many toys. So I was starting to be okay with not having as many toys. There really wasn't much else to notice with week 3 from week 2. You know, both of those weeks were really about books. So anyway, here is week 4. I have all of the toys from this last rotation on the shelf and on the floor in front of me, and I'm gonna go through them. I think I'm going to downsize even more. So the last rotation, I brought back his piano. I'm going to keep it. I also brought back the game controller, and I think I'm gonna put it away. He didn't hardly even touch it. And then I brought out the rocket ship with the bouncing balls, and I'm going to keep it out because I've seen him push it around a few times. And some things that have been in here for a while that I'm actually going to keep are the buckets. He loves playing with them. And the eggs, because again, he loves playing with them. We're missing 1.5. Our cats like to swat at them, so they're probably somewhere way underneath furniture that I can't find. Yeah, so eventually I will find them all, but for right now, while they're still out, I'm not gonna worry too much about finding them. These dinosaurs I've kept out through this whole month, but I think I'm going to finally put them away. He doesn't really play with them, at least not as much as he first did in the first couple weeks. I don't think I'm gonna replace that. So this shape sorter truck has been out this entire month, and I think I'm going to put it away for now. He does kind of play with it, but it doesn't really hold his attention. So I'm gonna try putting it away and then later bring it back out, and hopefully that'll help him play with it some more. I've also kept out this, like, I don't know what this is called, but this thing this entire month, and I just left it on the shelf so that way it can distract him while Rob's trying to study. But that's not really working anymore, so we're gonna put it away, and I'll bring it back out again in a few weeks, and hopefully that'll keep him entertained again. This little toy is new. I got it last week, I think, and it's just like a little push toy, and then the balls inside of there bounce. So I've seen him play with it a few times, but I think he's so distracted by everything else that he just like plays with other things. So I'm gonna keep this guy out since there's not as many things to play with, and hopefully he'll play with this some more. The last thing that I have are books, and I have them all laid out, so I'll just talk through them. I think I'm gonna put away Dollhouse, Going on a Bear Hunt. He gets really frustrated with that one. I don't really know why. But he takes it out of my hand every time. I want to put those two away, and I think I'm going to put Dinosaur Dance away for now just because I'm tired of reading it. I still like this one. It's just a little flip book, and I think it's good for teaching him animal sounds. I'm going to put Brown Bear away for now. He hasn't really been like keeping his attention when I read it, so we'll try in a few weeks this one. Well, that leaves out how many? 5 books. So we've got a new one, I Love You, Night and Day, this old one, The Animals flip book, a scripture book that has just like 5 or 6 scriptures in it, How Do Dinosaurs Say I Love You, and Little Blue Truck's Valentine. Like I said earlier, I know Valentine's Day is over, but I really like the stories, and I know it's March, but I just want to keep them out a little bit longer. The stories are nice, and he keeps his attention while I read them, so I think they're okay to keep out. This week's shelf, so we've got the buckets, the little rocket with the bouncing balls, the eggs, the piano, the little bouncing ball top, and the books. It's just one thing or category per shelf. I think this works to keep his attention just a little bit longer, and that it's not so overwhelming like it might be with like 2 in each spot. That's what his shelf will look like for the next week, and I'm just going to kind of watch him. But since this is my last week of doing this for a month, I'm not gonna come back and show you like how I do the next shelf. Just know that it might stay like this, but it's obviously gonna have different toys. This is the last toy rotation that you guys will see, but so far I actually really like it. Like I said earlier, week 3 we added more books to the rotation, but in week 4 I decided to downsize the books and the toys. It was nice downsizing everything just because like the clutter and the neatness and the picking up and all of that stuff. And along with having not as many books, I was able to really kind of tell a lot better which ones he liked. I really figured out how I could tell if he didn't like a certain book. So if I was reading it and he snatched it out of my hands every single time, I figured, well, he probably doesn't really like that book. He doesn't want me to read it. He, you know, will grab it and give me a different book and he'll listen through that one all the way through. So the one that he snags out of my hand is probably the ones that he doesn't like. So they will definitely be out of the rotation, and I'll try him again later and see if anything changes, if he likes them. And yeah, on week 4 I only kept out 6 toys, which is 4 different from 10, but I honestly did not feel as bad or guilty for not having so many toys out, because I could tell that he liked playing with just those toys throughout the week. And again, the clutter was gone and it was just so easy to pick everything up at the end of the night. And that's a theme. I just, you know, like, it made it so much easier and more motivating to clean up. It's not like toys were everywhere all over the floor and it took me 30 minutes to clean up. It was like literally 5 minutes to clean up, if that. So here are my final thoughts on toy rotations. So at the beginning, I was very on the fence. I didn't know if it actually worked or if it was something that is just super trendy and like way too hyped up for its own good. Right now, I am kind of in the middle. I still don't know if it works. I so badly want to see all of the great benefits that everybody on Instagram talks about from it. So it's definitely something that I need to keep working at. But as for right now, for the month, I didn't necessarily see all of that much improvement. The benefits that I did notice were 2 things. One was really just for me. The house was cleaner, there wasn't as much clutter, and it was way easier to pick up. I feel like I'm on repeat. And the second thing was Cade did have a little bit of prolonged entertainment or sustained attention to the different toys, but honestly, that wasn't necessarily the case every single time he went to go play. Most of the time, the sustained attention was right after I had cleaned up. So if he went to take a nap and I didn't clean up anything and he came back out after his nap, he didn't really play with the toys because they weren't in the shelf. Does it really promote sustained attention all of the time? At least for right now, no, I didn't see that, because he wouldn't go back to the toys. He would find anything. And in our little basement suite apartment thing, everything is out and just free reign for him. Anything can be a toy. So like the cat's bed, the DVDs, the shoes, the piano that's way over there, Rob's bookshelf with seminary books on it. Anything becomes a toy for him. And so I don't know for sure if it creates prolonged entertainment or not, just because anything catches his eye. Like he'll play with the shoes for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes at a time. But with the toys, pretty much once he's taken them off of the shelf, he's done. The only thing that really keeps him interested are books. And I don't know if maybe that's just a developmental leap that he's going through right now that would make him want to read books more than play with toys. But yeah, so kind of, it worked. I wouldn't necessarily say that this little toy rotation experiment worked for us, and I think there's 3 reasons why. One, I feel like we don't have the correct toys, which I said in the very first week of like, wow, that's a lot of electronic toys. And I still don't necessarily think that it's bad, but the beautiful shelves that you see on Instagram are all like wooden toys, and that's just not something we have. That's not something that our families are accustomed to gifting to babies, if that makes any sense at all. And number 2, I kind of just talked about this, but Cade is really just interested in books or literally anything else. And then number 3, I just hit on this, but everything in our house can become a toy for Cade. So yeah, I don't know. This is something that I really want to work for us. I want to see all of the good benefits that can come from toy rotating, but I don't think that it can happen in a month. And I didn't enter this month thinking that it would. I just wanted to see what it would be like. And since I have seen a couple of changes, at least with me and a little bit with Bubba, it is kind of promising that I will be able to see the benefits of toy rotating. I will definitely be continuing this, mostly for my sanity of keeping the house clean, because it's really nice, but then also because I have seen him become more entertained with what he has and not needing a whole bunch of stuff. I plan on making another sit-down video on this topic, 1, because this one is really long, and 2, I have just a lot of thoughts that I want to process out a little bit more clearly, but I really did want to share my initial process with toy rotations and just see what it could be like. So if you're interested in seeing another video about toy rotations and how it goes for us, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified whenever that video does come out. But there you have it, guys. That was our first month of trying toy rotations out, our initial process, how it went, and my thoughts on it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process and seeing how it all went. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did, and